Welcome to your latest NCN Sports Report. Back for the first time, I'm Aaron Trout because Brandon was down in Lincoln putting in work on Monday so you could have all the highlights from the high school football championships. So let's get right into it. You know, one of my grandpa's favorite sayings was straighten up and fly right. And that is exactly what the Flyers of Humphrey St. Francis did in the fourth quarter of the D2 championship against Chambers Wheeler Central. Brandon, what happened out there, bud?
The Flyers' fourth state title in program history won't be forgotten anytime soon. It took grit, determination, and 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, but Humphrey St. Francis rallied to win the Class D2 state final 22-20 over CWC, avenging its only loss of the season.
We just kind of stuck with it. That's kind of what we've done all year. We just kind of grind it, and then we convert. We didn't hurt ourselves tonight with turnovers, which was huge. I thought we took care of the ball, and we had a couple key penalties, but for the most part, we did a good job being efficient.
St. Francis got on the board first with a 4-yard touchdown run by Kyle Wemhoff late in the first quarter, but the Renegades took over after that, putting up 14 unanswered points to go into the halftime break with a 14-6 lead. St. Francis found themselves down double digits after Nicholas Harbachuk put CWC up 20-6 with 5:19 left in the third quarter.
I thought we could still move the ball, and I thought we would, maintain our composure. I mean, we're a pretty mentally strong group, and we just needed to make some plays.
Kessler's analysis wouldn't prove more true than on 4th and 16 when quarterback Damian Baumgart extended the play and found Kyle Wemhoff in the end zone from 18 yards out to bring his team within 6 points after a successful 2-point conversion.
I threw it up I just saw Kyle, I threw it, and it somehow went between the two defenders and he caught it. So, that was on Kyle. He made a great play on that.
The Flyers' defense did its part and forced a 3-and-out on the next CWC possession. St. Francis then strung together a 7-minute drive that came down to a 4th-and-goal from the 6-yard line, and once again Baumgart connected with a receiver in the end zone by finding Carson Wiedner and gave the Flyers a 22-20 lead they wouldn't relinquish with 2:22 remaining. After being Class D2 runners-up in 2012, Kessler said it means a lot to the school and community to win it all.
It means a lot to our kids. They've put in a ton of time to get here. It's just really gratifying, and we've been here and been runner-up in a few sports, so it's nice to get the big trophy because these kids, they deserve it, and just happy for our community and school.
It's the most exciting thing ever. It's a dream come true. It can never come in a better way than that. It was an awesome feeling.
I'm Brandon Axmit in Lincoln reporting, News Channel Nebraska.
Unstoppable, undefeated, unrivaled. These are all words you probably would have heard if you would have been down at Betty's Place on Main Street and Bruning throughout the football season. Now, obviously, they wouldn't have been talking about the Huskers. They would have been talking about Bruning Davenport Shickley, a team on a mission. Brandon, bring it back.
Bruning Davenport Shickley's second consecutive trip to the state finals turned out slightly more enjoyable than the year prior. After a 52-8 defeat to Hemingford in 2014, the Eagles returned to Lincoln and left D1 champions with a 44-30 victory over Burwell. BDS dominated the opening half, going into the break with a 20-0 lead and scored to open the half for a 28-0 advantage over the Longhorns. However, Burwell did rally. Down 36-14 with under 7 minutes to play, the Longhorns scored 16 unanswered points to get within 6 with 4:28 left in the contest. The Eagles got the ball back and Cale Kleinschmidt wouldn't let his team lose. The junior, who rushed for 222 yards on the day, made some big plays and punched the ball into the end zone with just under a minute to play, sealing BDS's first state title in program history. The Eagles finished the season a perfect 13-0 while the Longhorns take home the D1 runner-up at 11-2. I'm Brandon Axmit reporting, News Channel Nebraska.
Now, in the final matchup on Monday, two undefeated squads, the Elkhorn South Storm and the Huskies of Aurora, battled it out for a chance to hoist that Class B trophy over their heads. Now, Elkhorn South is a school that's only in its 5th year, but that doesn't mean they don't mean business. Junior quarterback number 2, Braden Wright, had 236 passing yards, going 10 for 21 on the night, throwing in 1 tut and a foot race for another, which we will see later. Moses Bryant, the sophomore running back for the Storm, had a total of 113 yards and 1 touchdown, with his longest run going for 35 yards. As for the Huskies, number 30, Preston Dibbard, tallied up 172 yards and all 3 touchdowns for Aurora on the night, and quarterback Grant Fox threw for 212 yards. Now, in a close one like this, it all comes down to the fourth quarter, and that is where Elkhorn South has shined all year. And they did not disappoint with this one, and there he goes. Shine on, you crazy diamond. That is the nail in the coffin on this one, folks. Elkhorn South defeats Aurora 25-21 and are the Class B state champs. Now, let's take a look at the action that's lined up down in Lincoln on Tuesday. At 10:30 a.m., the Scotus Shamrocks take on Norfolk Catholic Knights for the C1 title. Oh, that is one you do not want to miss. At 2:30, the C2 Championship is a match between Oakland Craig and David City Aquinas. And finally, at 6:30, you can catch the Class A Championship game between Millard North and Millard West. And I'm no pool man, but there must be something in the water out there in Millard. Well, congratulations to all the champions and a hats off to all the teams that made it down to Lincoln. That is your latest NCN Sports Report. I'm Aaron Trout for News Channel Nebraska, your hometown team and source for Northeast Nebraska sports.
Wardrobes for this newscast provided by Jay Patricks of Columbus.